Good morning, Tim. Melbourne in the house. All right, all right, uh, 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 just a second. 1884, 1885, 60, TP, 1880. All right. So how's everybody doing? Sri Lanka in the house, UK in the house, and Nashville, Tennessee in the house, guys. All right. All right, right now I am looking at possible shorts gold again, right here, after this fakey, targeting the lows for about a 3R, right? Let's see what happens. Possibly, I will manage it very aggressively. What do you have? What do you think will happen to the price on CPI, please? Price on what? What market? All right. Yeah, we have CPI today, inflation data out of the US. It's expected that the consumer price index year over year will drop for just a second, guys. All right, we have CPI today. Olympia will be live for the data dump, so don't miss the show. That'll be cool. Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at previous numbers, right? Uh, since July, where we saw the highest CPI number year over year, 8.9%. Inflation has been dropping, but what I'm interested in, what I am interested in is the core CPI month over month, which is expected to be higher. I don't know. It's going to be a little. Just a second, guys. Mm-mm-mm. Right. Just 1 second. Very possibly. No, I'll keep it. Let's have a look at what's going on right now. First of all, what I was looking at, and I am still holding this buy limit in the FTSE, right? Now, what I think about this setup, second, let me see. What I think about this setup on the FTSE, but I don't know because it's a CPI day, right? It's inflation data day. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I'm going to give it, an hour or so. But if within an hour I don't see a clear move, I'll probably just delete my order. So my idea here, right? The FTSE is super bullish, right? If you go to the 4 hour chart, the FTSE just printed new all-time highs yesterday. right? And yeah, I'm looking for longs on the FTSE. So what I saw here, right? This box right here is the London Open. Oh boy, that's awesome. So my gold short is in profits at the moment. You know, yeah, I'm gonna show you this one. I'll probably just scratch it at break even, very possibly. I don't know. So I'm gonna talk about the FTSE a little bit. And what I think about this possible setup on the FTSE is this, right? Now we have a fake here, right? A fake. When I mean, because this market is super bullish, right? I'm looking for longs, right? Of course, that a break of the Asian session lows in this case, in this market, is not going to flag me short, right? At all. Of course not. I'm looking for longs. This is a nice fake, right? Trapping traders in on the wrong side of the market. Then, this is pure manipulation, of course. And then price broke with the Asian session highs, right? Now, what I'm looking at here is I have a buy stop right here around exactly at the uh, 77.41.40, right? So, right in the middle of this imbalance. And I'm targeting the highs of the move, right? With stop losses below the fakies low for a 4-hour trade. And yeah, it's looking like I'm going to get triggered. But if it doesn't come down within an hour, I'll just delete that pending order. Right now, I'm running another short in gold at the moment. Right now, it is in profit for about 76 pips or so. I am going to move a st I am I'm going to move it to break even. Very possibly will be taken out of break even, but because it's CPI day today, um, I just don't want to risk it. And I already took a loss short gold. So yeah, my short in gold is at break even. So no, didn't you close your signal on VAP? Silver is going down. Let's have a look what I did on the VIP group. I deleted my silver cell stop. I did delete my silver cell stop. The idea was um mm, mm, mm. I'm gonna show you what I was looking at. I was looking at right. I was looking at this imbalance, right? I was trying to trade this imbalance. And the price was trading around that imbalance, but it kept making higher highs, right? So, my sell stops in silver were, this was my trade idea, right? Sell stops below those lows, right here. Stop losses above the highs. I was targeting the lows of the move, but price kept on breaking higher, so I decided to delete that pending order. That I just got taken out of break even on that gold short, on my last gold short. Let's have a look. Yep, I did. Which is fine. see. All right, so what are we going to do? Mm, yeah, this is very, very volatile right now. So I got stuck out on my shorts in gold today. Mm, where were they? Hold on. Mm, 1876, 75. No. Just a second. I want to show you. Selling 1883.25. So 1883.25 here. My 1885. Yeah, my stop losses. I moved my stop losses higher, and my targets were all the way down here. I don't remember. Right. I got triggered here, right? And price, I got triggered here, and then price dipped towards this zone, right? When price was trading at this level, my trade was up more than 1%, and I didn't close it, so that might have been a mistake on my part, right? Yeah, most definitely because of inflation day, right? Inflation data day. And yeah, and then a couple of things I did wrong here, right? A couple of things I did wrong here. One was not taking profits, right? When my trade was trading at 1%, more than 1%, 1.1%, 1.2% almost. And then not moving my stop losses to break even here. So yeah, uh, still running with those leaks from last week, but that's fine. I'm not looking to trade. Just a second here, guys. I'm not looking to trade anymore today, other than the FTSE short, FTSE long that I have um, as a pending order, right? I mean, this trade, I mean, this setup is looking very, very good. So, any questions, guys? Any questions at all? Go ahead, shoot. Mm-mm. Hi, Orlando. Do we keep US buy limit? Yeah, Harry, that's a great question. I was exactly going to talk about that right now. So, let's have a look. I'm gonna show you on my MT4, on the MT4 that tracks the VAP trades, right? Just a second. Terminal. All right. So, right, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. Um, yeah. So my entry is right here, right? My buy limit is right here. My stop loss is below the structured lows, of course. But price hit target one and target two, failed to trigger me in, right? Now this setup is, this setup is still very much valid. I'm gonna show you here, on a 10-minute chart. I mean, it's still very much valid. Um, but but I am most definitely going to delete that buy limit. Just because it's CPI day, right? And I'm not going to go short. I don't trade reversals. I'm not gonna go short. You know, it all depends on how the data comes out, right? And right. What do you think? I mean, if inflation data comes higher than expected, what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen, right? If inflation data comes higher than expected, first of all, when it comes to inflation day, right, CPI data, the market that if you trade the news, right? In my opinion, the cleanest high impact event that you could trade is CPI day, right? Why? Because of this, right? It is only consumer price index numbers, right? Yes, we have CPI month over month, year over year, and we have core CPI month over month, right? But it is only inflation data, right? Other high impact events like non-farm payrolls Friday, right? There's unemployment new, I mean, uh, non-farm payrolls numbers, right? There's unemployment numbers, and there's average hourly earnings numbers. So the data can come out very mixed. When it comes to CPI, right? When it comes to inflation numbers, it's quite difficult that data comes out mixed. So the high impact event is much, much cleaner. And the market to trade CPI is, of course, metals, in this case, gold, right? Why? Um, yeah, why? Because let's just delete everything here. Because if inflation numbers come higher than expected, what do you think is going to happen with gold? Is it going to rally or is it going to dip? I'm waiting. Go ahead. I am waiting for your answer. And of course, there's absolutely, one thing that you don't, you don't need to do is look at, the reaction on the U.S. dollar, and then decide how to trade gold, um, based on how the U.S. dollar is moving, right? Right? Um, because it's kind of counterintuitive because if inflation comes higher than expected, right, the US dollar is going to rally. Why? Because if inflation comes higher than expected, hold on, let's think about this. Inflation comes higher than expected. What do you think the Federal Reserve is going to do? Right? They're going to continue, fighting inflation, hiking rates, and easing, you know, um, whatever round of quantitative easing they're on at the moment. So that is bullish for the USD. So when the US dollar rallies, normally everybody thinks that gold is going to dip. But when it comes to inflation numbers, gold reacts to inflation data, not to how the US dollar is moving. Why? Because gold is, um, you know, in this case, safe haven against inflation, in the sense that whenever inflation is rising, right, and money moves from cash to metals. So that is why, um, when you have high inflation numbers, the US dollar rallies and gold rallies. Yeah, I don't think a roller coaster is coming. I am I am not going to trade today's news release. I'm not going to trade it. You know, I'm not going to be live. Olympia is going to be live, and myself, I'm not going to trade it, but I'm going to watch it, right? The reason I'm not going to trade it is because I hit my daily stop loss, right? It's I lost about 0.95%, and yeah, I'm done for the day. Trying to short gold, right? And I still, I still have a couple of trades running and profits, but close profits today. I'm down. My daily stop loss, personally speaking, is about 1.5, 1.6%. And let me see, my MT4, and yeah, today I'm down 0.83%, so less than 1%. But um, you know, um, I could trade CPI, the CPI release with a minimum risk, but that's not how I do things, right? Um, I'm not gonna trade. I'm not gonna trade. Inflation numbers with a 0.2% risk because that's how much I still have left for the day. No, I'm just not gonna do it. Tomorrow is another day. But let's have a look at some levels for you guys to possibly try to trade this release. Right? Remember that there's a lot of manipulation before the before the release, and you have to you have first of all, do not do what most traders do when it comes to news release, placing buy stops here and sell stops here, waiting for one of them to get triggered and then deleting the other one, because that's just gambling, right? If you place a sell stop here and a buy stop here, it's really just gambling, because what you're doing is just trying to trying to profit from a very volatile move, but you have absolutely no idea what you're doing, in fact, right? And most likely, during the manipulation, you're going to get triggered on both and lose money on both. So let's look at some levels, right? Let's look at some levels, right? And let's look at some possible, let's risk management at point. Yeah, light has. I'm sorry. That's the whole idea behind this, right? It's all about risk management. Right. And also the other reason that I'm not trading, today's CPI release is because I am not on the zone, right? Um, at the beginning of my show, I showed you, yep, I showed you the mistakes that I made today on my gold short that was up 1.2%, and then I ended up losing 0.6%. It sucks. And yeah, those mistakes should not happen. And yeah, that just shows me that I am not on the zone. And in such a volatile environment where you have to make decisions to the second, I'm just not comfortable trading CPI. It's more, it's fine. But let's have a look at levels and what could happen on both scenarios, right? Let's imagine that CPI numbers, inflation numbers, are super high, right? That is going to be very bullish for gold, right? Now, let's look at this 10-minute chart, right? So if it's bullish for gold, right, if CPI numbers are high, it's going to be bullish for gold. So normally what I look at is this, right? The last low and the last high right here. Those are the two levels. Those are the two levels where weak players are going to put their buy stops and their sell stops, right? So what happens normally is that um, let's imagine that inflation numbers can come out super high, right? That is bullish for gold. But you're going to see a manipulation in the market before the rally, right? I mean, seconds. It's insane because it's seconds before the news hits the wires. You're going to see, a stop hunt, right? You're going to see price being manipulated and all those sell stops getting triggered and people getting trapped on the wrong side of the market. Price is going to hit. I'm eyeballing this, right? Maybe here, price is going to hit, this demand zone, the demand zone that created this break of the structure. Of course, I'm eyeballing it, guys. I'm super eyeballing it, right? But, right, so you're going to see that manipulation. This is in the case that inflation numbers come super high, right? You're going to see that manipulation and then the rally. So what I do is first of all, if you're going to trade the news, you need to have a squawk, right? You know, you can't trade the news refreshing the fucking calendar on Forex Factory. You need a squawk, right? I use Live Squawk, and those guys. I mean, it's just like an economic news radio, right? You have all you have all seen it here on my shows, right? And yeah, they have the Bloomberg terminal, and when numbers hit the wires, they just um, uh, they just read them on the microphone, so you can hear the numbers, and because you have to know the previous numbers, right? The forecast, etc. And when they read the numbers, you know which way you're going to trade this market. So, for example, if right, if inflation numbers come higher than expected, what I do is, yeah, I wait for my squad to start, you know, speeding out the numbers. And when I see that manipulation, I take a buy here, right? And normally I risk about 0.25, 0.3% because what I do is I take a buy at market. I quickly move my stop losses below the structured lows, which would be right here, right? So yeah, my stop loss would be quite wide in the sense that, and because it's so volatile, of course I'm going to get slippage, right? So my stop loss can be around 40 pips or so. But uh, then you're going to see this, boom, 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 and then here people, weak players getting trapped, trying to short the highs, and then that break and that 2-3% move to the upside. So if inflation numbers come lower than expected, it is the same fucking thing, right? Um, it is the same fucking thing in the sense that seconds before news hit the wires or numbers hit the wires, you're going to see that manipulation. All the buy stops here getting triggered, trapping people, trapping weak players on the wrong side of the market, and then that move to the downside, right? So that's how you trade the news. And if you are going to do that, you have to have a squawk or at, at least a squawk. If you have a Bloomberg terminal, that's much better. I prefer the squawk because you know what it it's the guys read the numbers. But yeah, that's how I would trade this CPI release. So be careful with that, mates. Be careful with that. It's going to be good. Let's have a look at what has happened earlier over the past months. Um, CPI wise, oh boy, trading economics. This site is awesome. So, CPI, Consumer Price Index in the United States. It is, I don't know if this is up to date. All right, the annual inflation rate in the US likely slowed for a sixth straight month to 6.5 in December of 2022. This is what we're looking at here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row. This is what they're saying. So let's have a look at what happened last was yeah, should have been December what, 10th, the last release. Let's have a look here. Uh, uh, uh. Mm, Where do you see the calendar? December 11th, no, December 13th, December 13th. So let's go to December 13th and let's see what happened here. Why don't we do that? Boom, big rally. Why? Why did it rally? So, 297.71, so I want to see this. 297.71. Actually, what? Mm-mm. Go to. Why can't I see that December 13th? 2 minute chart then. All right. So, I can't, I mean, I can't, I think I can't show you the 1 minute chart here. Just to, I wanted to show you the manipulation that I was talking about. Yeah, I can't. I don't know why. Premium. I am premium. Your plan only sees 10,000 bars. I didn't know that. All right, that's fine. Thank you, Trading View. All right, so Aussie USD 1 hour. Let's have a look at the Aussie USD 1 hour. I mean, it's so choppy. I mean, I talked about the Aussie USD yesterday. Super choppy. I mean, I don't know what are you looking at here either, right? I don't know what you're looking at here either. But well, why don't we have a look at some long term, not long term, but key levels in this market. Let's go to 8 hour chart or so. Oh, all right. So we have a key pivotal level here. Uh-uh. So price has broken with this key pivotal level. But again, we have this one right here, which is where price is trapped at the moment, right? So let's talk percentages. So let's look from these highs to these lows. Hold on. We saw a minus 13.5 bear market, and right now, um we've seen a 12.62 rally. So that doesn't say much, right? But what are you looking at? I don't trade the Aussie, right? This is a market that I don't trade, right? I mainly trade the US dollar and the Japanese yen, right? So if I were to trade the Aussie USD, it would be a US dollar driven trade. And at the moment, if I were to trade this market, I were to trade the upside in this market. Why? Because right now the US dollar is very bearish, right? And this is the other thing, right? Just have a look at this. This is so fucking ugly. Yeah, the past week, week, 10 days have been extremely choppy in the US dollar, right? Very, very tough to trade. Um, but if we look at key pivotal levels in this market too, I mean, the USD has just broken with this very, very important low. So that's why I'm looking for shorts in this market, right, in the USD. Of course, that today's CPI data is going to give me direction for the next of the week, for the rest of the week. But for the time being, this it's so choppy. Just have a look at the hourly chart in this market, right? On the USD, it's so choppy, right? And I placed a couple of trades here, and that has been also a mistake because this is untradeable, right? This is untradeable. So, having said that, on the Aussie USD side, I don't trade the Aussie. And I am not, I mean, I'm not the kind of trader that is going to go from market to market like this, looking for setups, right? That's not what I do. What I do is I look at the two markets that I trade, the Japanese yen. Wow. Now the Japanese yen is has broken with, hold on, I look at the Japanese yen, the US dollar, right? And I look for setups on these two markets. See if I, for example, right now, um, the setup that I or the trade that I am going to look for is long the Japanese yen. Why? Because the Japanese yen broke with the range, that range, right? I was waiting for that. I didn't even realize it because I was battling with gold, stupidly battling with gold, right? But now, yeah, there's a very, very, very good Japanese yen long opportunity, right? So possibly, from this imbalance here, there's a couple of imbalances here too, right? But I don't know. I don't think that after this break, well, it depends also on how inflation data comes out of the U.S., right? Because a U.S. dollar move is going to affect the Japanese yen, and a U.S. dollar rally might give us the opportunity for that Japanese yen dip to buy it. So that's what I'm looking for right now. When I see this, I look for opportunities or right. So now I know that I'm looking for longs on the Japanese yen, right? Because of that, I go to my Japanese yen markets or the Japanese yen markets that I trade. And, to be completely honest, I was looking for pound yen shorts today. But when price broke with these lows, pound yen shorts is basically Japanese yen longs, right? And when price broke with these lows, I didn't even place the order. What I was looking at was this. Hold on, let me show you here. Oh, I'm sorry. So what I was looking at was this. When I was looking for possible shorts on the pound yen, price was trading here, right in this range. Then I saw that little break, that spike low, breaking with the Asian session lows, and I said to myself, this is the number two flag for possible shorts on the Japanese, for possible longs on the Japanese yen. So my trade idea was right here, uh, uh, which is still very much valid. Hold on, let me grab this. Boom. Yeah, which is still very, very much valid. I dig everything about this setup. I dig the liquidity that has been built up here. Uh-huh. I dig everything. I did the break of this structure lows. All right, so I'm going to tell you what I dig about this setup. Right, first of all, I love the break of the structured lows. Also, I love this retest on the previous broken lows, right? Traders getting in short here, right? Of course, they're in profits, but this is liquidity, right? Now, I don't trade the break and retest because back testing a ton, I came to realize that more often than not, this um, first of all, if you're going to trade the break and retest, where are you going to put your stop losses, right? There's no way to put your stop losses in a logical position in the sense that there's no previous highs where you are going to place them, right? There's no structure still. So normally you're going to place your, I mean, these players are going to place their stop losses above the spike highs. This is buy side liquidity, and this is what I wait for price to get rid of, then to mitigate that inefficiency in the market, the inefficiency that created that break, and then here is where I get in short in this case, of course. Now that was my idea. I didn't even place the order because I saw that move to the downside, of course, that and I was focusing on gold, battling with gold, like I told you, right? But you know what? Imbalances and market inefficiencies, 98% of the time get filled. I'm sorry. I got the hiccups. 97% of the time they get filled. I mean, not immediately, but eventually, right? And yeah, I mean, this is a good setup. I'm not going to place sell limits here, right? More so because of this, right? Hold on, 3 minute chart. Uh, sorry, 7 minute chart. Right. More so because of this. One, CPI data, and what I normally do, right? This is the imbalance. Yeah, an imbalance is a gap in the market right here. You can see that gap in the market. This gap in the market is created because of a ton of buy sell orders, I'm sorry, that jumped in the market at the same time, sweeping all the buy orders that were here, right? So there were more sellers than buyers. So the market priced itself inefficiently, right? So that's why normally those inefficiencies or those imbalances get filled eventually, like I told you. But there is also this one right here. So what I normally do is I take a smaller risk trade here, right? And if I get stopped out, I retry a short here with a full risk, right? That's what I normally do, right? Why? Because I want to, I mean, because one, this setup is, I mean, it's a slam dunk setup, right? And two, I want to get filled on the trade, right? There is no way to know, I mean, there is, but um, all right, hear me out. There is no way to know which one of these imbalances is going to be your 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 entry, right? All right, let me show you another thing. So I am looking at the 7 minute chart here. Mhm. Yeah, right. So not only here we have an imbalance, but we have this order block, right? So the highest probability trade would be all the way above, all the way here, around the 160.80. I would place my sell limits just to get filled. Actually, you know what? I wouldn't trade this one. I would trade only this one right here, around the 160.80 or so. I'm actually thinking of placing this sell limit. Let's have a look at the higher time frames just to pinpoint a good exit point here. Wow. Yeah, I could go all the way here to the 157.90 for a 13R trade. That would be awesome. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Uh-huh. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to trade. Yeah, questions. GBP yen breaking 159.94.7 supply zone. What are your thoughts? 50-minute time frame. Let's have a look. 50-minute time frame. What supply zone? I don't know. What supply zone? Uh, supply zone. I mean, breaking supply zone. Supply. I mean, supply is to the upside. Demand is to the downside. I don't know what you're saying. Can you please take a look at Aussie yen? I put in a long trade and now it seems I might be wrong. I entered 90.50. Sean Johnson. This is something I don't do. This is something I don't do, mate, but you know what? I'm gonna make an exception today. 90.50. You enter long. Why would you enter long? All right, so I'm not gonna tell you what to do, right? But I'm going to tell you what I think you did wrong. First of all, here, mate. Actually, you know what? Yeah, most definitely. Right, so, first thing, right? You're trying to catch a falling knife. That's a big no-no, mate. Just have a look at this. This is super bearish. I mean, you're talking about a big move. There has been absolutely no pullbacks. This is super, super bearish. You're talking about from the highs here to the lows, a 120 pip move, right? And you're trying to catch a falling knife. Why are you trying to catch a falling knife here? I don't know. But let's look at the hourly. Right, key levels here. I would say this. I mean, this is not even a key level, mate. Yeah, it's not even a key level. 50-minute chart. Right, so here what I would do again, mate. I mean, this is how I look at things, right? First of all, this market is bearish, right? If you're trading the 50-minute chart, you have to look at the past three sessions, right? This is fucking bearish, right? Uh, if you look at the hourly chart or so, yeah, this might be bullish, right? But you're trading the 50-minute chart, so you're trading the immediate trend in the market. What I would do here, mate, is I would most definitely wait for that pullback towards the 91.30 for shorts, which is absolutely what I'm going to do right now on the pound. Yeah. Yeah, I'm digging the hell out of this setup. Actually, I'm going to place it. All right, so VIPs. I am going to delete the Nasdaq orders. Let's look at the FTSE. Yeah, I'm going to delete the FTSE buy limits too. And I'm going to place this. Uh, It's a little bit too wide. Let me see. No, that's 30 pips. That's fine. It is a 9.6 R trade. So I'm going to place this pound yen, market watch, pound yen, right here. I'm looking at the, huh? All right. So I'm going to place, hold on, let me just look at power sell zones. I think I am a little bit too high. I mean, I'm not high. My entry is a little bit too high. No, actually, I like it. Um, yeah. So, 160, 80. 160, 80. Pending order. I'm going to risk 1% on this trade. 160.80. My stop losses are going to be above this structure high. I mean, I could place my stop losses above this high, but because it's CPI, you know, uh, all the markets are going to be highly manipulative or manipulated. I'm sorry. So I just don't want to get stopped out on a um, yeah, on an inducement. And targets, I'm going to target that zone around, actually, I'm going to target the 158. So should be around a 9. Let's have a look. 158. 8R, enter. All right. So it's an 8R trade here. Mm, yes, I dig it. Uh, So, and sell limits at the 160.80, stop loss at the 161.14, and targets at the 151, 158. All right, let's see if we get trigger. I'm not going to, most definitely not going to, you know, um, stay here online, see if I get trigger or no. But yeah, I'm liking this trade a ton. I mean, this possible setup, right? Yeah. Just have a look at this, right? Right now, I'm running 9R, right? But if I were to lower my stop losses just above the structured low, this turns into a 13.5R. But I just want to be safe. I don't know if I'm going to get triggered or not, but I do want to be safe. So, I am sending that. Uh-huh. It's sell limit at the 160.80, 160.80. Stop loss at the 161.14, 161.14, and TP at the 158 for a 9R. And we will see. I'm going to risk 1% here. We will see how this turns out. So, I'm going also delete everything else. Delete UK 100 sell limit. Just updating my VIPs. And yesterday's Nasdaq's too. Uh, all right. Delete. All right. All right. Can you dig it? Actually, my targets could be even a little bit lower than that. I mean, if I wanted to be, just have a look at this. Let's go to a 30-minute chart, right? If I really wanted to be safe, I would put my stop losses above the structure high, and I will most definitely target this lows, which gives me also a 9.5 hours. So I'll leave it as is, yeah. This is any questions, guys, before I log out? Any questions before I log out? I'm actually going to record the video for my VIPs here. All right, traders. How are you? Today I am not going to trade CPI release. Olympia is going to be live, so heads up to that. Chris, minutes expired. All right. So I just placed a sell limit on the pound yen. So what I think about this is this. I mean, if you remember, this is the Japanese yen basket. If you remember, I was waiting for price to break above or below, right? This range. Hold on, let me show you on a 30-minute chart. Right, this range right here. Price broke with that range and now it's trading above it, right? Now the upside is not quite definitive, but in this case, the upside on the Japanese yen has the highest probability setup. So, if we're looking at possible longs on the Japanese yen, which are in fact shorts on the pound yen, right? I'm not gonna take longs on the Japanese yen here. That's out of the question, right? That's a rookie move. I'm going to wait for that pullback to get on to get long on the Japanese yen, which is exactly what I am looking at here on the pound yen. Right, I'm looking for that pullback, price getting rid of all of this buy side liquidity that has been built up. Remember, buy side, I mean, in this case, because we're looking at shorts, buy side liquidity is just, stop losses of these weak players trying to short the market at irrational levels. Now, if the Japanese yen in fact pulls back to previous demand zones right before the actual move to the upside, that will create a bullish move on the pound yen, which would in fact play out this liquidity sweep, right? I am looking to get in. I mean, there's two imbalances that I'm looking at here, but this one is not the optimal one. I'm looking at the imbalance that created the change of character in this market plus that order block here. Because we have CPI numbers, I decided today, right? I decided to place my stop losses above the previous structure high right here instead of putting my stop losses above the actual structure high, which would yield a 20R. That's insane. If we weren't looking at CPI numbers today, I would most definitely place my stop losses above the structure high, right? But because it's going to get very volatile, I'm placing it above the previous structure highs, right? My entry is just below that imbalance and that I'm sorry, order block, and I am targeting. Actually, it's not a 13R, it's a 9R. I'm targeting right here this inefficiency or this imbalance on the 30-minute chart, the one that um, that created the change of character in this market to the upside. So just have a look at this because this is quite cool, right? Remember, when you look at changing characters in the market, you have to look at the previous sweep of the lows in this case because we're looking at a bullish change of character. This is the previous sweep of the lows or the last sweep of the lows, right? So you have to look at the supply zone that created that sweep of the lows. This one right here, I'm eyeballing it, right? That supply zone did not hold, and that is what actually created that change of character from bearish to bullish. So, having said that, right, the imbalance is still yet to be filled. Remember, inefficiencies in the market 99% of the time tend to get filled, right? Not immediately, but eventually, right? And the reason that we have that imbalance here is because this is where buy orders started to pile up very rapidly and created that massive volatile move that broke and changed the character from bearish to bullish. So that's why I am targeting that zone on my possible shorts on the pound yen. So let's wait and see what happens. And if you have any questions, just you know, shoot. All right, I hope you understood my thought process on this possible trade. Yeah, I mean, I'm loving this setup. Yeah. I mean, everybody is a fucking hindsight hero, right? In hindsight, I shouldn't have battled with gold today. Yeah, that was a dumb, dumb move. So you live and you learn, right? Amen. So that's my trade for today. I am most definitely going to hold it. I mean, not hold it, but just wait for that move. Let's look at the USD, right? I deleted everything, so my only pending order right now is the pound yen, right? So I am going to log out, guys. Thank you for joining me. Olymp is going to be live for the CPI release in about how much? How long? It's 5 a.m. here, and CPI is at 7:30 a.m. So in about 2 hours, don't miss it. It's going to be cool. And remember, trade safe. And yeah, I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes. See if you have any questions. But if you don't, I'll be logging out. Uh, all right, so no questions. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.